Hey guys, this is Chibuzo from Trade Correct. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Month. Alright, we're in the month of September and we have about 4 months left to the end of this year. And if you've been following on the videos, we've been saying EURUSD is going to sell from the higher time frame. So this is me on the monthly charts, as I normally do for every weekly breakdown. Price reacted from a supply broke structure severely to the downside, and if you watch my previous videos, you'll see where I talked about when the market wants to reverse, it normally consolidates before it changes direction, and a consolidation that leads to an uptrend is called accumulation, and the consolidation that leads to a downtrend is called distribution. So this consolidation here that led to this fall in price will be a distribution pattern, and this consolidation here that is leading to this fall in price is going to be our distribution pattern too. Alright, so remember I told you guys that we were waiting for when we have this monthly boss, this monthly break of structure to the downside. Internal break of structure will be like the confirmation to tell us that okay, the market is falling, from the monthly perspective. But we also know that the lower time frame reviews the higher time frame, and you don't really have to wait for the higher time frame to do something. You can go down to lower time frame and anticipate it. Last week I talked about EURUSD. We had a trade on EURUSD, and I talked about how we had two options on EURUSD, and I mentioned that I think it was 2 weeks ago when the market broke this low, and I told you guys that this low is the first indication that EURUSD is going to fall, because this is my weekly change of character or internal break of structure. Not really internal break of structure, because this range here is also the internal structure. So this is the internal of the internal. That's why it's called fractal structure. So a fractal break of structure is called a change of character. That's why I said it's a change of character. Alright, and we talked about this change of character here when this demand was filled, and this demand is a valid demand. Why is it valid? It was the last demand that caused this high to fail, creating a higher high. So ideally, if price was going to create a new higher high, it should do it from here or from here. So when this guy failed, it created a supply flip here, supply flip zone as indicated here. I had two biases, two things the market would likely do: either it breaks this demand and goes up, or respects this demand and faces down. And I mentioned that I'm more sales biased. I expected the sales, but the internal structure on the 4-hour and on the 1 hour was same buys. But then I expected the sales, so I wasn't surprised when my buy trade hit break even. I expected it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this trade, because technically the market is telling me to buy on the lower time frame, but on the higher time frame I know I have a stronger sell bias. And you can look at last week's candle. Last week's candle is a full rejection bar. Like this is a full pin bar to the downside. That's telling you bearish pressure is on, and it will be good to get on the sell side of the market now and try to avoid taking buys. Anyways, if you look here, you can see last week's high swept last week's high. So that was a sweep of liquidity. Price grabbed liquidity, mitigated this supply flip zone, and sold. Simple. On the daily chart, what do we have on the daily chart? Alright, daily chart is just like a bigger explanation. Okay, I shouldn't have taken that off. Let me see. I need to reset. Yep, shouldn't show here. Alright, so on the daily chart, our daily chart is bullish market structure. You can see highs, lows, high, low, higher low, higher high, and we're at the point where the market should create a higher low, but it failed to do that. So that's why now, from even the daily perspective, you can clearly see that the market is selling. And this is not just happening with EURUSD, this is happening with EURUSD, GBP-USD, AUDUSD, gold, NAS 100, and every other pair that is negatively correlated with the dollar. they are all selling, and pairs that are positively correlated with the dollar, they are buying. If you check your DXY, okay, I didn't do a DXY breakdown on this YouTube channel, but I did it previously on our Telegram, where I showed you guys that DXY is actually bullish. But I'll try to touch it by the end of this video. Anyways, this is our daily swing low, daily swing high, and this is our price range, price swap liquidity mitigated, the demand range. On the daily is a demand range, on the weekly chart is a demand, sorry, mitigated the supply range. On the daily is a supply range, on the weekly chart is a supply flip zone, exactly, and price is selling. So you can see this candle on Thursday engulfed the candle on Wednesday, candle on Friday opened, mitigated something sub liquidity on lower time frame and sold. So it's only wise to wake up today. This is 2 a.m. Nigerian time, 2:10. It's only wise to wake up and look for sales, because I don't see why you should be buying in this market except your strategy tells you to do so. Anyways, on the 4-hour chart, what do I have on the 4-hour chart? Let me see. Okay, file structure. Let me take this off for now. Okay, now this file structure, I haven't drawn out the new file structure, but our file high and low remains the way it is. You can see price is clearly not respecting those levels. Price is actually respecting the daily and the weekly what's it called, supply flip zone. So price swept this high on the daily chart. Let me take this out. This guy is messy, unnecessary. I'm coming. Let me delete this stuff. Okay, I'll just delete it. Alright, so what happened here in the market? You can clearly see you can clearly see this demand range here. This demand that broke this high, right? Yeah, I deleted it. So price mitigated this demand, had a push up, and the demand failed. Now this is like what happened on the weekly chart. So this is simply a demand creating a supply flip, creating a supply. So it's called a flip zone. When a zone is created from another zone, that means when the market encounters a demand, is supposed to buy. That's like the general knowledge. But when it fails to buy, but it has like a push up, then it fails the demand. That push up becomes like the last candle before the impulsive move to the downside. So you can actually come up here to look for shorts if the market does that. Alright, so this is all I have for EURUSD. I don't want to spend too much time here. I'll be looking for sales from this candle right here during this week. Price might not get there looking at the bearish pressure, but we'll come here every day to have our precision analysis and all that. Alright, so let me set this here and put it off. So I want to talk about the buy setup we had. We had a buy setup that hit break even. I sent a buy setup on Friday evening to the Telegram group. So now look at this buy setup in our 1 hour range. Do we still have our 1 hour range? I think we still have a 1 hour structure. See, yep. Alright, so assume all this hasn't happened yet. We had our 1 hour low here. This video is going to be long because I'm going to talk about some other pairs too. So we had our 1 hour strong low here that broke the high. This thing should be on the daily. Don't want to see it here. Yeah, and we had this our 1 hour week high. It was meant to be a week high, equal highs, and price was meant to run through. That's what our lower time frame was telling us. But we know very well that the higher time frame is bearish. That's why I keep saying this thing. You need to know your higher time frame to avoid things like this. So price consolidated, swap liquidity, had our change of character. That's our fractal break of structure, and we got in on the 25% of this zone. And when price took out this high, I broke even and closed my charts, and I was done for the week. And I opened at the end of Friday to see that okay, price has hit my break even, and I wasn't surprised. I went to the higher time frame and saw that okay, I had two biases, a buy and a sell, and the sell bias was playing out. So I had this buy signal, and I also had a sell signal. But the reason why I didn't send the sell signal to the group chats, sorry, to the Telegram group, was because it was against structure and against order flow. These are the kind of setups that I like to take on my own. These are the kind of setups that I prefer to keep them to myself, just because they are against structure, and then it requires a level of mastery from you. You need to backtest this kind of things, because you are trading against the 1 hour, you're trading against the 4 hour in anticipation of the weekly and daily. Imagine you are taking a sell on the 15 minutes because you anticipate the weekly and daily is going to sell, but the 4 hour and the 1 hour is telling you buys. So these are the kind of setups that I stay away from. These are kind of setups I don't share, and if I want to take them, I take them conservatively. So I had this sell setup here. You can see it's quite a simple one. There was this demand here on the M15 demand here. If you do your structure right, price mitigated this demand and flipped it. I keep talking about flip zones. I keep talking about zones created by other zones. Go and backtest this thing. It works. So price mitigated this demand here and failed. The demand failed to cause price to go higher. So this supply was created. This supply swept liquidity and created internal liquidity within this range. Now NFP was released. The market bought. That was our buy signal. It bought into the supply and sold impulsively. On the 5 minutes, 1 minute, you probably see confirmation entries and all those kind of things. But I didn't take this trade because I took the buy and I was like, okay, I'm done for the day, and whatever happens, I'm actually okay with it. Alright guys, that's my 2 bits on EURUSD, and I'd like to talk about another pair. I would like to talk about gold. I'm not sure. I'll be looking at AUDUSD. Should I look at AUDUSD? Okay, let's see AUDUSD. Okay, AUDUSD. I'll just run through AUDUSD a little bit fast. So this is the weekly chart. What's going on here? Weekly. Okay, yep. So our weekly chart now. Weekly chart still the way it was before. At this level, and we're expecting the pullback. And I don't think price is going to do that anymore, because I'm looking at the way last week was formed. Last week looks like a rejection candle. Even though it closed bullish, it's actually a rejection candle, and price is rejecting from a price level. If you look to the left, you'll see a price level there. It's like a psychological level, but that's beyond my scope for this YouTube channel for now. I don't want to talk about that for now. On the daily charts, okay, let's go to the 4 hour chart. On the 4 hour chart, what do we have here? We had a break of structure to the upside, internal break of structure, internal break of structure to the upside, and now we had an internal break of structure to the downside. So you can see order flow right now is bearish, on the daily chart, on the 4 hour chart, and this is actually premium level, and price can actually reject from this point. This is what I'm envisioning in the chart. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I expect to happen. And what I told you about your zones. You want to pick zones that sweep liquidity. You want to pick zones that break structure, and you want to pick zones that have inducement. And if a zone doesn't have inducement, you want to wait for confirmation entry. Alright, so this zone, but this supply here, swept liquidity, broke structure on the 1 hour chart. Doesn't have inducement. On the M15, you could go and see there's a refined level up here, but it will be smarter to just take the whole range, and when price gets in there, look for a confirmation entry. See, I set an alert here. So for AUDUSD, what I'm looking for AUDUSD is price gets into this zone or into this level on the M15, and I'll wait for that confirmation before selling. So that's it for AUDUSD. I want to look at gold. I haven't looked at gold on this channel before, but I feel I should show you guys one or two things on gold. Alright, so this is XAUUSD. I believe this is FXCM or first.com. Alright, so this is gold on the weekly charts, and I didn't label this as I labeled some of my other charts. You can see the equal highs here, price sweep liquidity here, liquidity sweep on the break of structure. And what I keep telling you about liquidity sweeps is a weak break, not a body break. price rejected, and this was our immediate weekly range. WSL means weekly swing low, WSH means weekly swing high. I didn't have the time to write it down, so I just put abbreviations here. You mark it as you want to mark it. Sometimes you call liquidity LQ, you call break of structure MBS or BS. Depends on how BOS, depends on how you want to do it. Alright, so these are our weekly swing low, and these are our weekly swing high, and this internal structure for our weekly charts broke down, and this premium of our weekly range, and this is our discount of our weekly range. So price broke structure, went back to a particular level or supply, swap liquidity. So I'm looking at this supply as a valid supply, but then we're not trading from the weekly. We just want to look for the direction. So my bias for gold is sales. That's what I'm trying to say. Swap liquidity, broke structure. You understand that? Alright, on the daily chart, what do I have on gold on the daily chart? Alright, on the daily chart, you can see price swept liquidity here, swept these highs. All these highs were swept by this week. Had an internal break of structure, pushed up, indicated this supply here. Price sold and broke this low here. So this zone is my unmitigated zone. Actually been mitigated by this week, but then I still marked it because the zone is actually very large. And what do I have on XAUUSD? These are DSH daily swing high, DSL daily swing low. Apologies for this, I'll do better next time. Alright, so on price is currently in the premium level of gold, and I'm looking for sales. The previous day, that was Friday last week, ended as a rejection candle. It's actually a doji if you know your candlestick patterns, and I'm looking for sales from this level, and I'm looking for sales in the coming few days if gold does what I expect it to do. Alright, our 4-hour charts are just going down on every time frame for you guys. You can see this refined period on the 4-hour. I don't want to ignore that the fact that there's this premium, what am I saying, this higher time frame. Sorry, there's still this period above here. Price could go up there, totally fine. Well, I'm talking about where price is right now. Price swap equal highs liquidity, so into a zone that's swap liquidity that is valid and has broken structure. All these highs we here were simply liquidity engineered for the move. And is gold going to sell impulsively to the downside and create a new swing leg, like from a higher time frame perspective? Is gold going to fall down this far? I do not know that. I'm just trading what I see at the moment. Alright, so what do I see at the moment? On the 1-hour chart, I hope you guys are not I hope I'm not too fast. On the 1-hour chart, you can clearly see, let me see the markets in 1-hour chart on gold. Alright, on 1-hour chart, you can clearly see gold did something that I like. This is what I like to see in the market. I keep saying these things. I like seeing consolidations by the end of trends. So we had this bullish pullback on the daily charts. The market has been pulling back on the daily chart. All these push-ups, was a bullish pullback, and then you look at the charts right now and you see this consolidation phase that happened on between Wednesday, from Wednesday last week, that was last month, till Friday. The market consolidated within this price range, and then what happened after a consolidation? You normally see a manipulation. Price sweeps highs or lows, like it acts as if it wants to buy but doesn't buy, ends up selling, or it acts as if it wants to sell, doesn't sell, ends up buying. It's a manipulation of price. So price will have the liquidity above here now and a broke structure, and this is simple. I don't want to call it a pattern, but this is something that happens in price a lot of times. So this is what you can call it your consolidation or range. I'm trying to run, so let's see a range. That's a range. This is your manipulation, or liquidity sweep, whichever you want to call it. This is your expansion. Now price, it fakes out. What we call fake out? It fakes out, then shows its true intention, and now your job is to trade this order block. So now, do you want to enter this order block from here and put your stop loss here? Totally depends on you. But how will I be, how will I engage this order block? Simple. I'll go down to my lower time frame, find the refined entry that I want to enter, and enter off it. But let me just be clear on here. This is not financial advice. What I'll be doing here is this: I can take the sales off here impulsively, or I wait for a confirmation entry. Totally depends on how I see this when I wake up tomorrow morning. So when I wake up this morning, so for gold, instantly I'm looking for sales for gold at the moment because of the price action I just showed you guys from the weekly charts, down to the M15. What I see here on the M15, what I'm looking for gold is a sell. Alright, so that's for gold. Permit me to look at one more chart. That will be NAS 100, I believe. So what do I see on NAS 100? Do I have anything on the monthly chart? I don't think so. Okay, NAS 100 at the moment. Let me see. Okay. Alright, so this is our weekly chart on NAS 100, and I think this from 2021. Price broke structure, sold down, pushed up, swept liquidity, mitigated weekly points, and we have this excuse me, we have this guy as immediate price action, and I actually believe this guy might be bullish, but right now the market is looking bearish, so I'm just going to work with what the market is giving me, so thank God I labeled all this properly, so it'll be easier. So if you look at NAS 100 current price action, you can see this high created this low, that created this high. So initially this was our daily swing low and our daily swing high, and the market sold and broke it. So the daily range switched to bearish. That's why I said it's looking like it's selling. And normally when a price action switches to bearish, you expect a pullback and a probable continuation. By now you guys will have figured that I'm a swing trader. I understand intraday because I was scalping some months ago, but I switched to swing trading because of my current lifestyle. Alright, so this daily low was broken, market switched bearish, and I tell you guys every time the lower time frame will review the higher time frame. So on the 4-hour chart, you see this break of structure here, internal boss, telling you that the daily is switching bearish, and you could have caught sales from up here and held to like this demand here, all these kind of things. Well, so this is a price imbalance with fair value gap, as you might want to call it, and this is a liquidity before that level, and this is actually our supply on the daily chart. Price is yet to mitigate it, but price swept liquidity, and I'm particular about liquidity sweeps. For me, I respect liquidity sweeps more than price mitigating a zone. That's just my own style. Alright, what do I have here? Price swept liquidity, partially fills fair value gap, and prints a rejection candle. Now candlestick patterns is not something I do all the times, but on the higher time frame I look at what kind of candlestick was printed the day before. On the 4-hour chart, what do I have on the 4-hour chart? I don't really have much on the 4-hour chart, so I'm just going to go to my 1-hour chart to talk about immediate price action right here. Okay, now my immediate 1-hour price action, for me, my 1-hour time frame is my middle time frame before I look for my entries. So you can see price is bullish, was bullish, created a high, created a low, created a higher high. Okay, let me just follow you guys. Alright, price did this, created this high, then created this low. You can see this is the lowest point before price broke the high, creating a new higher high, created a new higher low, created a new higher high, and created a lower low. At this point we had our 1-hour break of structure. That simply means that order flow on the 1 hour has shifted to bearish. That's what it simply means. If you draw your order flow, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, you find that order flow has shifted to bearish at this point. Order flow is an easier way to read structure if you don't have a good structure understanding. So after a break of structure, you expect what? A pullback and a continuation. So this is why I'm looking for sales on NAS 100 because of this RIC. And something else you can also notice in the chart, if you're attentive, you can see a consolidation here. You can see a fake out or a manipulation mitigating a level to the backside. We'll talk about it later. And you can see a break of structure and market is pulling back. So it's having the same. You don't have to trade one pair. If you are swing trading, you can trade a couple of pairs, but you need to have consistent technical analysis. That means the way you analyze one chart should be the same way you analyze another chart. You should not come on that chart and change your strategy. So you need to understand the same thing at every point in time so that you are consistent. The aim is consistency, and profit will come through consistency. So I have this trade idea on NAS 100, and it's a very, very simple one. So this high created a strong low, sorry, created a weak low. That's what we are seeing right now. Let me not go too fast. So this low created this high that broke this low, and we had a bearish break of structure. These are our strong low, these are our strong high, and these are our weak low. And this is liquidity sweep, this is a fair value gap, and these are order block. Now if you are price grab liquidity and reverse, so price might not get up here. So this is just my sell template for now. Price can grab liquidity and not get up here and reverse. So you want to be looking at the chart. You can see my price alert was set here already. So when price hits this, I'm going to be sent a notification, and I'll be on the chart to see if I can get a lower time frame change of character here or not. So but this is what I have on NAS 100, and this is what I'm looking at for NAS 100. I spoke about EURUSD, I spoke about AUDUSD, I spoke about gold, and I spoke about US 100. That's NAS 100, known as NASDAQ, whatever you want to call it. Alright guys, have a productive trading week. This is our weekly breakdown for Trade Correct, and we'll try as much as possible to keep up with the precision analysis. And peace guys. So have a wonderful trading day, have a wonderful trading week too.